Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about Postmaster, right? How we can set it up in Microsoft 365 environment, as well as what are the different scenarios why we wanted to set up Postmaster, right? And what are the different use cases as well as scenarios where we would be using this Postmaster, how it is going to be used for the whole organizations to use it, right? And how we can make that used effectively in order to send and receive emails as well, right? And it is also going to give us the different delivery mechanisms as well as different reports so that we can also see and track down the email deliveries as well as email reports across the organization, right? So let's start. Before starting, I would like you to like this video and share this video with the friends and people around you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well, so that you can, as well as everyone who has like subscribe, they will be able to see every new video whichever is uploaded, right? So let's get started. All right, so how to set up Postmaster in 365 environment and why we wanted to set it up, right? So setting up Postmaster in Microsoft 365 is going to help us and manage the bounce back messages, which are majorly non-delivery reports, right? And we know that if anyone is sending an email to our internal account from external domains like maybe Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo or any other domains, right? Then we wanted to make sure that respective user gets notified, or anyone, be it a business partner or vendor or customer or anyone who is sending an email, then we should definitely notify them that, okay, so whatever the email communication was sent, that is something which is not delivered to that respective person. And then they would be notified that because of so and so reasons, right? So that way we can simply set it up and notify it, and also see what are the delivery mechanisms or what are the deliveries of the emails are happening. And the very important part of this is that we would be able to email, or we would be able to monitor the email flows and deliveries across the organization, right? And it's also going to help us to meet the compliance and operational needs of the organization, right? And there are few of the supported use cases, which, as I said, handling email delivery failures, receiving notifications about misconfigured servers and details, then reporting spam, abuse, and operational issues if there are any issues, right? And that is why it is going to notify us, right? So in Microsoft 365, by default, there is no Postmaster email account added, right? Because that's not going to be set up automatically, and we have to set it up as per our needs and how we wanted to set it up, right? So I'm going to talk about different ways, what are those and how we can configure with those ways or different options, right? So before that, we'll talk about a bit of the different scenarios, right? Where and why it needed, right? So first scenarios, when we manage a transactional email system, which is going to send an email notifications to the respective users or different systems altogether, right? And that way it is going to notify us as well as the respective person saying that there was an email delivery issue, or no, that respective user was not able to send an email because of so and so reason, right? And that way we can simply go ahead and check it out, right? The second is when we are trying to secure outbound mail flows, even it helps in troubleshooting blacklisted or spam reports, right? And that way it is going to give us the complete details to identify and work on it. The third is external organization wants to report mail issues, and it ensures someone receives their alerts, right? So that way it is going to notify, as well as it's going to give us the complete visibility on it, right? All right. So uh, the next is auditors or compliance teams requires visibility into failed email deliveries, right? Which is going to be kind of centralized bounce mail captures, and from there they can simply get the visibility of all the email deliverability across the organization, right? So these are the few scenarios, and there could be many more different scenarios based on the use cases and altogether, but definitely those are something can be set up and configured in the 365 as well as in the hybrid environment, right? Now let's look at few options how we can set up Postmaster in Microsoft 365. So first option is by creating a dedicated mailbox, right? So by creating full mailbox, which has a kind of either we can set up full mailbox with a particular license assigned to it, and then that can be used as a Postmaster mailbox, right? And it receives all bounce backs as well as NDRs, and it alerts the related domain or relevant domain which we have configured for, right? Then it's going to send out all those notifications to that respective Postmaster ID. So that is the one of the way where we can create a standard user account, assign it a license, and then it's going to be sending out and all those emails or bounce backs or NDRs, right? Then next is we can use a shared mailbox, which is recommended for a specific team or group of people where they should be notified and they can simply go ahead and monitor it and they can take the appropriate actions. Maybe if they wanted to troubleshoot that issue further and then make sure their mail flows are working as expected, then they can simply go ahead and do that proactively, right? That's the mechanism which helps to take steps and work on the issues proactively. Also, it does not need any license as it's a shared mailbox and it would have its own storage space around 50 GB, right? And if we need a license, we can assign Exchange Plan 1 or Plan 2 license as per needs again, but that won't be needed or required, right? The third option is we can create a mail contact and that can forward all those emails to the respective group members or team, right? Where we can add or set up the forwarding to that email address and it's going to simply forward all those communications to the respective teams so that those people and a group of people can be notified and then they can either work on it or they can take the next steps. So that way it is going to be helping them to work on their issues or whatever the issues or whatever the things that they need to look at and take actions, right? And the fourth one is configuring a mail flow rule, transport rule basically, and which is going to catch all the emails as well as advanced redirection that we can set up. So that can be created simply mail flow and create a rule from Exchange side. And then we can set up a simple rule if the recipient address is the Postmaster ID, then redirect all those messages to a specific user or kind of shared mailbox where all those communications is going to be forwarded. And then it's going to be simply sending it out, right? So that way it's going to be forwarding everything together. Now, how it is going to be identifying that, right? So to be compliant with SMTP standards, we have to make sure we have DNS records as well as MX records configured correctly. And the Postmaster ID resolves and receives emails from all the external emails as well as senders, right? Also, no spam filtering and transport rule blocks external NDRs to the Postmaster address. So that's also one of the things that we need to make sure is going to deliver and send those email notifications, right? So there are certain best practices as well where we can monitor the Postmaster mailbox if we have a separate mailbox assigned to it. You can use the shared mailbox with the logging with the set of credentials to store logs and collaborate with the IT and security teams to do all the works like implementing or improving on all the capabilities or issues if there are any. Ensure DKIM, SPF, and DMARC are aligned and set up correctly for the domain, right? Because that's also needed for this to set it up. And then it's going to prevent delivery issues that might result into the external systems trying to contact the Postmaster, right? And the last one is add alias if needed, if in case we wanted to add the alias for the same domain or same mailbox, right? Now we can add any additional ID if in case we wanted to use a shared mailbox, right? So that's the one of the way to add alias to shared mailbox, and that's going to be forwarding and receiving emails, right? So now I'm going to show you how we can configure it in the Exchange Online using PowerShell, right? And as I said, there are different scenarios when it is going to send out those email messages, right? So when there are situations like NDRs, non-delivery reports, delay in the notifications, right? SMTP error responses, as well as quarantine notifications or notices. So it needs some of the customization setup, but that's also a part of this and can be configured, right? So I'm not going to cover that in this video, but that's also configurable. That can be done. And there are different scenarios, as I said, non-delivery report, as well as mail loop detection, email quarantine, if customized, SMTP for external senders, right? And then relay delay notice, as well as outbound rejection block list IP, then mailbox full notifications, SF, and all the records including SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, right? So all those records would also be able to configure, or those would also be sending out a postmaster notifications if that is not correctly configured at all, right? So now let's jump on to the demo and I'll show you how we can configure it using PowerShell. And also I'll show you, I had configured it before on the PowerShell or for the Exchange Online tenant, right? And then we should be able to set it up. All right. So let's go ahead and let me share my screen here. Perfect. So here you can see I have shared my screen and I'm on the PowerShell. So I have few commands, right? And those commands are available to set, right? So this is the command which gives us the complete visibility. So this is the command to see if I have configured any, right? So let's generate. And you can see that external postmaster address is this one, right? Which was set up with this domain before, but now I have a different domain. Altogether I wanted to configure for the tenant, right? What I will do is I will simply give it a domain name 365days.tech, right? And I wanted to copy this command, and once we are here, we can simply set, which is going to be set transport configuration, right? And this is going to be simply straightforward, and then hit enter, right? So once we hit enter, you can see that it has set up and we can get that output, right? So you can see that postmaster at m365days.tech. So this is the domain where I have set it up. Now this domain was the previous one, which is not active, which is expired in the tenant, and that is why it is not the correct one to send and receive those notifications, right? And that is why it is going to send out such notifications, right? So now we have configured postmasters, right? And there is also another phase why or when we don't want to set or allow send in postmaster notifications, right? So that way is something where we can add the accepted domains. And for those domains, we would not be able to, or we would not, or the whole M365 and Exchange organization is not going to send such emails because that's the accepted domain for the tenant. And to add that, we can simply go to Exchange admin portal. So these are the accepted domains, right? And from here, we can add any of that respective domain within Microsoft 365, and that domain is going to be added to just not to send any of those postmasters notifications, where you can see that, let's say this is the one of the domain, accept a domain, and then we can set it to either authoritative or internal relay, right? And this way we can configure it for the organization. And that way we can set it up either authoritative, which says email is delivered to email addresses that are listed in recipients in Microsoft 365 Office for this domain, and emails for unknown recipients are rejected. And for internal relay, that's the pure kind of hybrid environment, as well as kind of on-premises big organization where it is going to recipients for this domain can be 365 or 365 or your own email servers, including Exchange on-premises, and from there you can configure it between Exchange Online and on-premises, set it up, right? So yeah, this way we can configure it and make use of it, and we would be avoiding all those postmaster communications, right? So yeah, that is all I wanted to show you and talk about this specific option, and this is going to be very uh, right and great way for us to configure it and do all the configurations, as well as it is going to help us tracking the mail deliveries and all the different configurations, as well as it's going to help us to see and provide the respective configurations across the mail deliveries, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. I wanted to show you and talk about, right? This is going to be pretty straightforward. And if we have to configure the same in the on-premises or hybrid environment, definitely there are some different steps that we need to take and do all that configuration, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and people around you so that they can also learn about this one. And let me know if you have any questions, doubts in the comments below so that I can answer those and collaborate on it, right? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well so that you get to see every new video around different topics, right? So yeah, that's all for this. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.